Are you tired of sifting through endless health advice that promises quick fixes but delivers nothing but frustration? Welcome to the Anti-Macro Podcast, the go-to place for scientifically backed yet digestible health and fitness wisdom without the fads or gimmicks. Whether you're looking to ditch chronic dieting, optimize your hormone and gut health, or simply find balance in your wellness journey, you're in the right place. I'm Coach Diana Lee, your no-nonsense guide to transforming your health and mindset for the better. Each episode, I'll dive into topics ranging from nutrition basics to debunking common myths to cutting-edge functional health insights, sometimes featuring guest experts in the space. Get ready to learn, grow, and take actionable steps toward a healthier and happier you. So grab your favorite beverage, kick back, and let's dive in. I eat well. This arbitrary statement has been said to me countless times as I speak to people who are stuck in their health and wellness journey. It's not a helpful statement, and often it's actually harmful to you because it's what's keeping you stuck. Let's discuss what I eat well means to various individuals, the pitfalls of believing this while you're not seeing results, what eating well actually means, and provide you some key takeaways to implement with your nutrition. I talk a lot about also hearing the statement, I'm doing all the right things, but I'm not seeing results. The I eat well statement is a subset of this, specifically referring to the diet portion of a health transformation journey. Both of these statements reflect your current beliefs, but they're problematic. They assume that you are in fact doing all that you should. Thus, there's nothing else that can be done. It's in essence a way for you to gaslight yourself from discovering the truth, that you may not in fact be eating well at all. Eating well is an entirely subjective term. It's a descriptor that is based on what you currently know about nutrition and how you grade your execution against that knowledge. But nutrition information has unfortunately become overly complex thanks to the rise of social media and charlatans looking to stand out with the next big thing. Even before social media, diet culture shaped our beliefs about healthy eating. Programs like Weight Watchers and Atkins diet taught us to fear calories instead of focusing on nourishment. Many diets still don't guide people toward truly eating well. But what does eating well even mean? I'll give you my definition of it. Eating well means you are providing your body adequate nourishment in the form of calories, macronutrients, and micronutrients to support healthy body weight, digestion, and hormones based on your individual needs. This is a broad definition, which later in the episode, I will break down into more specifics of what exactly this entails. But first, I'd like to point out where other dietary approaches miss the mark. When I hear someone tell me they're eating well, I know that when I dig deeper, I'm going to find a variety of interpretations. I want to be clear and set the stage a little bit. That oftentimes when I actually talk to somebody about their nutrition, usually they're telling me about how they're struggling. They're not seeing the results that they expect. They're not feeling their best. So let's be clear about something right now. When I'm talking about how we are saying that we are eating well, but we are in fact missing the mark, I am explicitly talking about individuals who know that there is a gap in between where they want to be and where they are right now, and they feel like their nutrition is not the problem, when in fact it might be. Now, in these conversations, when I hear somebody tell me that they're eating well, I know that when I dig deeper, I'm going to find a variety of interpretations. The first most common one is when eating well is in alignment with traditional dieting. Diet culture has led many people to believe that slashing calories without abandon is considered to be healthy eating. It makes sense too. We've always been told that in order to lose weight, we must eat less, and weight loss is inherently good, while weight gain is inherently bad. But so many diets take this approach without addressing nourishment for healthy digestion or hormones. Eating too little for too long can reduce your metabolism, partly through lower thyroid function and reduced movement. This is especially prevalent in cases of eating too little while trying to burn too many calories through high-intensity exercise. Eating very little with no regard to the loss of micronutrient consumption can lead to low micronutrient status, which disrupts various hormone processes. B vitamins are essential for our neurotransmitters. Vitamin C supports adrenal function, and our thyroid requires nutrients like magnesium, zinc, and selenium to function optimally. And these are just a few examples. I also often see an imbalance of macronutrients with arbitrary calorie slashing. Someone who says that they eat well may follow up with, but I focus on protein, but they miss the mark on getting adequate carbohydrates and fats. I cannot tell you how many people I've worked with who ate little to no fat in their diet because fats were demonized for their calorie density, leading to negative health effects because fat in our diet is essential for the creation, conversion, and secretion of many hormones, including our sex hormones. Carbs are often treated the same way and are demonized by countless diets while being our body's preferred source of physical and cognitive energy supply. Even people who focus on protein often miss the mark. Some aren't actually getting enough. Some rely too heavily on processed protein products, and some neglect the balance of carbs and fats needed to support hormones and digestion. Another interpretation of eating well that I see is those who assume that just because they avoid traditional junk foods and buy organic, that they are eating well. And by all means, they are absolutely making a great effort to make more mindful choices. But remember, these conversations usually happen, again, in the context of they're not seeing expected results. Simply eating healthier choices does not mean that you are meeting your body's caloric, macro, or micronutrient requirements or eating in a manner that supports your specific goals. Additionally, if you are still stocking up on packaged foods simply because it says buzzwords like high protein, organic, or gluten-free, doesn't mean that it isn't highly processed. The last thing that I see is a disconnect between what you think you're doing and what you're actually doing. For instance, the most common is eating well Monday through Friday, but then going into full on fuck it mode over the weekends. And when we discuss their eating, they focus on telling me about their weekday eating, but not their weekend eating. The same goes for leaving out details like bites between meals, alcohol consumption, or late night snacks. I get it. It can be hard to be honest with ourselves, but honest introspection into the reality of our diet and consistency is going to reveal a lot. In the end, you're missing the mark because you're working with what you've been told. You don't know what you don't know, and you're lacking guidance on what's next. I know that you mean well, and many of you are already taking the steps that you need to learn more about nutrition and how to fuel and nourish your body. I also know now that hormone health has become its own buzzword. Many people are turning to blame their hormones because they think their nutrition is on point, when in reality, their hormones are fucked because their nutrition has been missing the mark, usually for a long time now. So with that said, I'm going to help you out by diving into 5 key components you should be considering when evaluating your nutrition and whether or not it is in alignment with your goals and wellness. The first one is a little bit obvious. You need to understand how much you are eating and of what. If you've never tracked your intake in some manner and you're feeling frustrated with your results, then this is step 1. Now, as you know, I'm the anti-macro coach, so I'm not going to say that you have to download MyFitnessPal right now. There are 2 ways that I do this with my clients. The first is using basic food journaling. I have my clients take a picture and or write down everything that they eat. This is the easiest way to do it so that you can get an honest view of your meals, consistency, and habits. Try to even take notes with each picture, like how hungry you were before the meal or how full you were after, whether or not you had digestive symptoms in response to a meal, or if you ate for reasons beyond hunger, like stress or boredom. The second way that I do this is through the hand portion method, which is an estimated approach to macros that provides insight on calorie intake and macronutrient intake. If you are new here, the hand portion method in a nutshell is essentially your palm resembles the size of a portion of protein. A cupped hand resembles the size of a portion of carbohydrates. A fist resembles the portion size of vegetables, and your thumb resembles the portion size for fats. Now, learning the macro components of food and portion sizes really puts into perspective how much you're actually eating. I think that it should also be said that you need to start reading food labels on processed food products and looking up the caloric values of restaurant food where available. Now, this isn't to fearmonger you, but to educate you. Do you actually know what you're putting into your body? Do you know how it impacts your daily intake? This is necessary because a lot of times we will make what we think are healthy choices when we are on the go, but in reality, those choices are not in alignment with our needs. I'm going to give you a few examples. One is ordering a salad is often seen as a healthy choice, but often salads can rack up far more calories than you imagine. The dressing is one of the trickier parts. And if your salad is coming out pre-dressed, then I guarantee that you are underestimating how much dressing is actually on your salad. A very simple practice that I have my clients do is to order their salad dressing on the side and then pour it themselves. So that way they can visually see and connect with their portion sizes, or even reduce how much is used to better align with their nutritional strategy. Protein bar companies are marketing geniuses that are often duping you into believing that they are a snack intended to meet your protein goals. But that's not always the case. Many of these so-called protein bars only contain about 10 to 12 grams of protein and double the amount of carbohydrates. Let's be clear. This isn't inherently a bad thing, but it can lead many unsuspecting individuals to be missing the mark on their daily macro balance. Smoothies are another one. If you know me, you know I love my smoothies, but honestly, only if I make them myself. Smoothies ordered out are often far more calorie laden, and you are none the wiser. And don't even get me started on acai bowls, which is basically a smoothie, but presented in admittedly a prettier manner. Is it made up of healthy ingredients? Yeah. Is it balanced? Nope. They are often super high in calories and carbs, but very low in protein. Again, not always inherently bad, but it's a conversation of how it fits into your dietary needs. And it's sneaky foods like this that can make you think that you're eating according to your needs when really you haven't learned what they're actually made of or how they fit into your day. The next two criteria focus on what your diet is composed of on a more granular level than macros. The first is filling your diet with mostly unprocessed or minimally processed foods. When I talk about minimizing processed foods, I don't mean that you need to eat everything raw and make your own almond milk from scratch. But what I do mean is this. Think fresh fruits and veggies, whole grains, quality proteins, beans, nuts, seeds. That right there is your foundation. From there, you can add in minimally processed foods like olive oil, vinegar, canned beans, frozen veggies, foods that have been processed in a manner that extends their shelf life, but does not add, let's say, a laundry list of ingredients to the food label. But when most of your meals come from packages filled with tons of ingredients that you likely can't even pronounce, like protein bars, frozen meals, or snack foods with, let's say, a 20-line ingredient list, you're probably getting more calories and less nutrition than you think. And it's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. Prioritize foods that nourish your body, not just the ones that have a health halo on the label. It's not to say that you can't have any processed foods, but be mindful of the ones that you do incorporate and understand truly what moderation looks like. Thirdly, focus on your fiber intake for digestive health. I often say that in the wellness space, protein is king, but fiber is queen. Fiber is critical for gut microbiome, gut motility, fullness and satiety, and hormone health. Fiber-rich sources include beans and legumes, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, and seeds. Since my clients don't track macros or calories, I advise them to aim for 1 to 3 fiber sources in each meal to achieve adequate daily intake. If you notice, the primary fiber sources are rich in carbohydrates and fats, which is why crash dieting can often lead to gut health troubles. When we diet without concern for fiber intake, we can feel bloated and constipated. When we don't poop regularly, we don't eliminate waste such as toxins and excess hormones from the body. This can lead to hormone imbalances and feeling less than yourself. Which leads me to the fourth component of a good diet that is focusing on digestion. I'll admit that there is some overlap here with some of my prior points. If we eat a diet high in processed foods and low in fiber, we will have poor digestion. But the reason this is its own criteria is because there are many individuals who actually do eat healthy and still struggle with digestion. The IBS crowd is understandably one that struggles the most because no matter how hard you try to clean up your diet, you might still struggle. If you're dealing with constant bloating, gas, post-meal fatigue, constipation, diarrhea, or acid reflux, then we need to address your digestive health in order for you to reach your goals. For some of you, this means following the basic principles of eating well-balanced, minimally processed meals every 3 to 4 hours and eating slowly and mindfully. But for more extreme cases, this means taking the time to do a gut health protocol and healing your gut so that way you can get back to eating a varied and healthy diet without symptoms. And this, of course, is something that I do with my clients in one-on-one coaching. Now, the last component of eating well, which I already touched upon a bit earlier as well, is consistency. You need to find a diet that not only fuels and nourishes your body, but is also one that you could adhere to day in and day out, year after year. Health is a lifelong commitment, so your nutrition plan needs to be as well. We don't need to overcomplicate it with fancy diets like carnivore or biohacking, but you do need to follow the principles I've outlined so far in this episode on a regular basis. Note that consistency does not mean perfection, and there can be absolutely room for imperfect days, flexibility, and indulgences. But what many people see as moderation and flexibility is actually just binge and restrict pattern or unchecked indulgence. Sometimes finding consistency takes healing your mindset around food and your body and unpacking harmful, self-sabotaging mindsets. So there you have it, your checklist to help answer the question, am I eating well? Are you meeting your body's caloric and macronutrient needs? Are you minimizing processed foods and maximizing nourishing foods? Are you incorporating fiber? Are you supporting your digestion? And are you doing all of these things consistently? If you're still unsure, or you've recognized where you're struggling, but you don't know how to move forward, I offer free nutrition audits, and I will put the link to book in today's show notes. In these audits, I will review a full day of eating and provide actionable takeaways based on your goals and lifestyle. Think of it like a free 30-minute private coaching session with me. And if you're ready to master your nutrition, as well as your digestion and hormone health, check out my one-on-one coaching program by also tapping the link in my show notes to apply. In super exciting news, my coaching is now eligible for HSA and FSA funds, so you can put your health insurance towards more preventative and proactive health measures. That's a wrap for today's episode, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Anti-Macro Podcast. I hope you found today's insights valuable and actionable for your own wellness journey. Remember, true transformation comes from consistent, intentional steps forward. If you enjoyed today's episode and want to stay updated on all things health and fitness, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new episode. I release fresh content bi-weekly every Wednesday to keep you inspired and informed. And hey, if you loved what you heard, I'd be thrilled if you could take a moment to share this podcast with a friend or family member who might benefit from it. By sharing it with others, you're helping them on their wellness journey too. Keep striving for progress, not perfection, and I'll catch you next time.